I did a video some months ago about some of the books which I read, and well, just I guess because I'm interested in what other people read. I'm going to go through the books quite quickly and just point out, I guess, the areas that I'm reading in. And the thing which I really missed out last time was actually asking you if you've got any recommendations in like a given area. If you see something you're like, oh, that looks interesting, well, what do you is there a similar book which you have read which I'd find interesting? So I'd welcome any recommendations. Okay, so let's have a look. So first off, I've got 4 shelves of books which we'll go through just quite quickly. Then I've got unit over here and another smaller unit over here. Those books are largely university books, and then there's some, I guess, which were before university. These couple of shelves, probably those 3 shelves, all more recent, more university books on the bottom there. All this is, well, virtually all of that's quite recent reading. Quite a lot of this is older. Okay, so first off, I guess this will all have changed since last time. We've got dictionaries, sort of world history, planning, another dictionary, English literature, sort of general environmental stuff, I guess, limits to growth, beyond growth, small is beautiful. I guess that's kind of quite historic. Issues around sustainability and economic growth, that kind of stuff, sort of traditional environmentalism, I guess. Jonathan Porritt, Capitalism as if the world matters. This is all, I talked about this in the last video then. Environmental justice, rights of indigenous people. I guess that's quite an important part of what may or may not be called environmentalism nowadays. I guess consideration of the environment, but not for biodiversity, not for the sake of its beauty, but for the functions that it provides for people, for human rights, that kind of thing. Then we've got, as yet to be read, God, I really got to read that, and I'm just one of these people. I got the Stern review, so that was a Treasury report by Nicholas Stern, had quite an impact at the time. I think I mentioned these last time, basically just basic climate science, cities and climate change. These books here were mainly actually bought to sell on. Apart from this one, Stuffed and Starved by Raj Patel, which I've recommended to quite a few people, and I think at least 3 people have bought it. I'm only a chapter, no, I think 2 chapters in, but they're a good 2 chapters. I will finish that book at some point. Then we've got biogeography, soils, geology, so I guess popular science, power, climate change, more science. Really awesome book. If you're going to read anything on like popular science, physics, you want an idea of what general relativity means, read this book. That's just a really awesome book. That's great. That's not. I found that terrible when I read it, but I was young, so. Yep, that's a good Richard Dawkins book, and I've got some of his which I'm not so sure of at all. I don't particularly enjoy his atheistic tirades, although I guess I'd say I'm an atheist. Oliver Sacks, he's an awesome author. That looked like fun at the time, but it's dense, so haven't gone through that. Managing activism. Okay, you can't see what that says, but these 2 basically, plant and animal biology, physics, Aristotle, Art of Rhetoric, okay, book on Africa, book on Eastern United States. I knew I was collecting something. So books which I've got out, books which I'm currently reading are Megalopolis, which is kind of like 1961, I think, study of the eastern United States and its development, which is quite interesting. Will Hudson, the state we're in. American Politics Today, which was written in 1987 apparently, which is, like, at least in large part, about the Constitution and the history rather than politics today. So that's good. And then The Reprieve, which is about, I guess, the onset of war and lots more philosophical stuff. I'm conscious of time. Mo Gelman, The Jagger. Yeah, that's not an amazing book. Microbe Hunters was an amazing book, which was all about, I guess, the first people looking through microscopes and what they discovered. Seamus Heaney. I've read, actually, so this is, I quite like reading, really good fun, kind of kids' books, but I just really enjoyed it. I bought one of them, and it was so good I had to buy another, and then I had to buy the whole 3. And then when the film came out, Northern Lights, I think. But when the film came out, I couldn't download it. I couldn't illegally pirate a copy, so I'm like, right, I'm going to read the book. So then I read the whole book and the whole trilogy again, which I don't do. So, recommendation, Bible According to Spike Milligan, good guy. I Got News for You. Anthony Burgess, Douglas Adams, one of my favourite books of all time, definitely. It's just so funny. I can pick out any page on that and just start laughing quite rapidly. Monty Python, Rachel Carson, so that's kind of should be up the top, sort of classic environmentalism. Mikio Murakami, like this guy. Nabokov, Lolita, Turgenev, Dostoevsky, Solzhenitsyn. I was just reading quite a lot of Russian novels for quite a while. I haven't finished the Brothers Karamazov. I read like halfway through, and I think I really need to just read the whole. You can't put it down and then pick it up again. It's not that sort of book. I read Crime and Punishment. I thought that was a really amazing novel. Right, Solzhenitsyn. Gulag Archipelago, The First Circle, is that not? That's never around, but that's a really good book. 100 Years of Solitude, nope. George Orwell, obviously. Homish Catalonia, Kafka The Trial, with Moby Dick, Joseph Heller. So, quite a variety of stuff. Okay, now a book of Richard Dawkins I didn't enjoy, I found tedious. Don't know why that is. The Selfish Gene, that was great. I definitely recommend that. I didn't read this because Robert Kennedy, he's got a book called Crimes Against Nature, and yet he's been one of the main people complaining against the wind farm off Nantucket Sound. I'm like, I don't want to listen to someone who's that hypocritical. Anyway, so Stephen Jay Gould, definitely recommend it.